Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. What would you think if I said there will be more plastic than fish in the ocean by 2050? What will we pass down to our children in the next future? Plastic? Luckily, I found a paper which discussed the occurrence of plastic waste in the environment, ecological, and health risks. This paper is written by Elena et al. This study was supported by the grant of the Romanian National Authority for Scientific Research, co-financed by the European Social Fund with the Sectorial Operational Program Human Resources Development 2007 until 2013. I'm Nabil. I'm a student of Aquatic Resources Management from Hasanuddin University. Will analyze this incredible paper. Environmental threats posed in the environment by plastic production and plastic waste continue to be a major problem today, closely connected with the increase of plastic consumption by the population. Moreover, little efforts are involved in some part of the work associated to plastic waste collection, recycling, and reuse. Considering all these prerequisites, the identification and discussion of risks generated by plastic production and waste in the environment are performed in this paper, and some measures for plastic waste reduction were proposed. Although plastic in this polymer are not considered toxic, some residual monomers contained in the materials can be hazardous. Also, many chemical compounds used in the plastic manufacturing as additives. In particular, plasticizers are dangerous to human health and the environment, along with the degradation products that may be released during the plastic life cycle. Bearing in mind in the potential impact and risk generated by this population, environment, and for humans, the paper highlights that the current requirement and tendency are to reduce the need for plastic, the enhancement of recycling and recovering the waste, simultaneously with the replacement of plastic from fossil fuel with a continuous widening spectrum of biodegradable polymers. Bioplastic began to be recognized as a positive and important invention of chemical and plastic industry, providing many and varied opportunities for environmental impact and risk abatement. Right now, we have four major points in our topic at this time. First, we have two sub-major points: plastic production and consumption in plastic. The environment plastic are known as synthetic material produced from synthetic or semi-synthetic organic polymers. The second point is the impact and risk caused by plastic production and consumption. The third point is bioplastic from biomass and organic waste, a solution for the minimization of potential environmental impact and risk. And the fourth point is conclusion. Right now, we will discuss at the first point, introduction. Plastic production and consumption. Plastic are known as synthetic material produced from synthetic or semi-synthetic organic polymers derived from petrol-based chemical, able to displace traditional natural polymeric materials. Plastic together with rubbers have an interesting history of their development, when the modern life can't be considered without these of two groups of materials. Nowadays, the plastic industry continues to be deeply integrated with the oil industry, with that developed in parallel. So it can be considered that they are in high degree of interdependence. It's largely accepted that plastic can be considered as key catalyst for progress with a relevant contribution to the development and growth of life. According to the data from the Association Plastic Europe, world production of plastic amounts 280 million tons in 2011, 235 million tons of primary materials, 45 million tons used to produce the coating, welding, spraying, painting, and furnishing. This represents an increase of 3.7% of world's production of plastic from the 270 millions in the year 2010. At the figure, at the first figure, illustrate the production of plastic worldwide since 1950 until 2014, when the global production of plastic attained about 311 million tons. From the amount, almost 60 million tons were produced in Europe. It's estimated that annually, around the world, a quantity of more than 100 million tons of plastic is produced. This trend of plastic production followed the consumption of this material in different quantity, depending on the region location in the world, as you can see in the second figure. As you can see on your screen, there is 7 types of plastic. At first, polyethylene terephthalate or PET, of which plastic bottle, fast food containers, plates, cups are made. High-density polyethylene or HDPE, used for manufacturing of color plastic bottle, fabric softener, engine oil, about 18%. Polyethylene terephthalate or PET, of which plastic bottle, fast food containers, plates, cup are made, it's about 17%. Polyvinyl chloride or PVC, used for bottle and glass dish detergents, plastic made about 15%. Low density polyethylene LDPE, of which juice bottle, cans mustard, beer bottle, other packaging system are made, it's about 8%. Polypropylene or PT is used for bottle of syrup, yogurt, or jars. It's about 7%. And the last one is polystyrene or PS, of which 8 cartons, plastic cutlery, petri dishes, plastic cups, etc. It's about 6%. In the second submajor points, we will discuss about the impact and risks caused by plastic production and consumption. There is 5 submajor points we can discuss. At first, human health risks due to plastic in the environment. The second one is threats to aquatic or marine species. The third is imbalance in food chains. The fourth is landscape destruction. The fifth is action for risk abatement. At first, human health risks due to plastic in the environment. Plastic debris represent a worldwide problem, since they can affect all underground and surface water body with imperceptible and negatively impact and risk on wildlife, ecological habitat, health of coastal community. Plastic particles in surface water columns are photodegradable, becoming increasingly smaller. Toxic substances resulting from plastic degradation, such as bisphenol A, styrene, phthalates, are then consumed by plankton, thus becoming part of the food chain, reaching humans in the end. It is important to know the impact of absorbing plastic toxin in human health because plastic microfragments could be swallowed by small fish, which are the link between plankton and vertebrates. The small fish are eaten by commercial fish such as tuna and swordfish, and substances such as bisphenol A, styrene, etc. could get into the body, hence affecting human health. Bisphenol A and styrene, which are neurotoxic and carcinogenic compounds, can generate disorder to human health, as you can see on your screen. The second is threats on aquatic or marine species. Large amounts of plastic waste in the marine environment create cycle hazard for wildlife because of ingestion or because they become trapped in this waste. Plastic is accidentally swallowed by fish, turtle, and other animals and can affect reproductive organs or cause death due to toxic chemical. Many marine species die tangled in fishing nets or tangles of goats thrown or irresponsible. The third is imbalances in food chain. Plastic is degraded by the action of water. Small particles that result by being easily confused with representative of plankton. Animals like Phaeobastria nigripes or sea turtle die from plastic object ingestion. This species can be prey to large organisms and could possibly contribute to secondary ingestion by seabird. Number 4, landscape destruction. Larger plastic waste like containers, plastic bottles, floating in the water can train the marine life to other habitats. Plastic, a relatively inexpensive and versatile material, has many industrial uses, which explain the exponential growth of last century, a trend that will likely continue. Therefore, the pollution caused by this material is unprecedented. Number 5, you can see on your screen there is some several methods we can use to reduce the abatement the using of plastic. At first method is recycling of plastic. You can see under reference by Gennaro et al. 2013. The second method is improvement in the production and consumption of conventional plastic. At third, incineration of plastic for energy recovery by Sion 2010 and increasing production of bioplastic by D. Gregorio 2009. The third major point is bioplastic from biomass and organic waste, a solution for the minimization of potential environmental impact and risk. There are three There are three sub-major points. At first, bioplastic characteristic. The second one is environmental benefit of bioplastic. And the last is some disadvantage of bioplastic. As you can see, at the first point, there are some bioplastic characteristics started from PA or polyamide until PVOH or polyphenol alcohol. Number 2 is environmental benefit of bioplastic. The major advantage of bioplastic are that they can reduce carbon dioxide production and are biodegradable or compostable, leading to the reduction of the waste amount sent to landfills by using renewable resources for production instead of petroleum. Bioplastic can help to reduce dependence on petroleum. Biodegradable plastic contribute to avoid the problem with destruction of plankton and phytoplankton and waste disposal. Plastic processing industry support the company offering innovative bioplastic and plastic value chain, a range of additional opportunity, including at first, new area of business including niche product. Second, possible reduction of fossil carbon during the life cycle of product, even when recycling or reuses are not feasible. The third, additional benefits for the functioning of a product through biodegradability when this feature is feasible. Sales promotion for specific products such as organic food packaged in compostable packaging. Number 3 is some disadvantage of bioplastic. Considering that vegetable waste are used for bioplastic production, this action would require crops dedicated to the production of bioplastic packaging. Hence, genetically modified plants could be also used for obtaining bioplastic. Bioplastic are usually not recyclable, being designed to be composted. Finally, we have reached the last part, is conclusion. In this paper, we have identified and discussed impact and risk posed by plastic production and waste, as well as some alternatives to reduce potential losses generated by various types of risk. Although plastic have transformed people's daily life, there are continuous controversy about challenges and opportunity on their supply chain, production, and consumption. Debates on plastic usage and discarding are contradictory and refer mainly to the accumulation of waste in landfills and in natural habitats, generating also difficulty for wildlife due to ingestion or entanglement in plastic. Also, the leaching of chemical is a consequence of plastic product degradation in certain environmental conditions, and the potential to transfer chemical to wildlife and humans are considered environmental risks. The new category of biodegradable bioplastic and plastic presents a real interest for almost all the sector of the society and industry. Bioplastic started to be perceived as a positive important invention of the chemical industry, offering numerous and various opportunities for an improved relation plastic environment. That's my source. I think that's all. Thank you for listening. You can give some critics and suggestions and give any question in the komentar column. I think that's all. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.